So, what's going on with ICP? Why is it just going sideways? Well, I'm gonna talk about that in this video. But before that, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of these charts. We constantly try to update them, and so yeah, if you want to support the channel, check out the memberships. Now, as you can see, ICP is still going sideways, which is not really unexpected. I mean, Bitcoin dominance at the end of the day is still going up. And of course, there are some other altcoins that are already going up. For example, Cardano and Dogecoin and Polkadot and a few others. And ICP has also gone up quite a bit. Of course, it has not gone up as much as the other altcoins, but that's not the end of the world. You have to keep in mind that ICP only got to the 0.618 support level in the second wave move down, which is a lot more bullish than the other altcoins. Some altcoins even dropped below the 0.786 support level, so ICP is looking a lot better, and ICP actually already has a 1-2 setup on the chart, which means that the third wave could start at any moment. Now let's talk about the Elliott wave count for a second before I continue with other stuff. So as you can see right now, we are still trying to complete this third wave right here, and that will be the third wave of this 1-2 setup, and that has to get to about $12.55, which is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup. And as you can see, we are currently fighting with the bull market support band, so if we actually manage to stay above it, I think that will trigger some kind of impulsive move, and it will most likely look like the move that we got on Cardano. As you can see here, we were also struggling to get above the bull market support band, and we have struggled to do it for months on end, and after we actually got above it, that's when we had a huge pump, and right now we are above the bull market support band on the ICP chart. We just had a cross right here where the green line of the bull market support band went above the red line. And I don't know if you remember what I told you a couple of weeks ago, but the last time we had a cross was down here. When ICP was at about $2.80. And we did nothing for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden we pumped above the bull market support band. And as you can see, we tested it for actually a couple of weeks. And then we had a huge bounce. And right now we seem to be doing the exact same thing. Now we were above the bull market support band here and we got rejected, so yeah, if we stay above it, we should get an impulsive move very soon. And what would that look like? Well, like I said, we already have a 1-2 setup, which is the yellow 1-2 setup. And in that 1-2 setup, we have another 1-2 setup, and this 1-2 setup needs a third wave as well, which should get to about $16.04, and once that happens, that will complete the third wave of this 1-2 setup, and of that third wave right now, what we have is an A-B structure. And right now we are working on the C wave of this AB structure of this 1-2 setup, and this 1-2 setup is of this 1-2 setup. So you could theoretically call this a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 setup, and I know that sounds funny, but that's what it is. And at the end of the day, many altcoins were in this scenario and they broke out, so I think it's only a matter of time until ICP gets a huge impulsive move. And keep in mind, I was saying the exact same thing about Cardano and about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was down here. I said many times that I'm expecting Bitcoin to still hit 100k by the end of the year when we were down here. I was even saying it down here and down here. And people were calling me crazy. Now, of course, I did not have a YouTube channel back then, but I still believed that 100k is possible for 2024. And what do you know? We are very close to getting there. And another thing is the Cardano chart. On the Cardano chart, I mean, as you can see, we did not do anything for months. And I kept believing in it. And what do you know? We had a huge pump. And why did we have this huge pump? Because we had a 1-2 setup on the chart, which meant that at some point we had to get a third wave. And what do you know? ICP also has a 1-2 setup on the chart. Now, of course, you could call this a triangle if you wanted to, but I don't know. I don't really like how it looks. I don't think it would work as a triangle, so yeah, I'm not gonna call it that. I'm just gonna focus on the wave count, and like I said, we first have to get to $12.55. Then we have to get a correction in the fourth wave move down. I don't know where that went. Here it is. And then after this, we should get a fifth wave move up, which is this right here. And that should get to $16.04. And that will complete the third wave, the green third wave. and the C wave of the green third wave. And then after that, you can expect a fourth wave move down, which is the green fourth wave right here. And then a fifth wave move up should put us in this region right here. And only then I will be able to confirm that a low has been established and that we're actually in a main third wave move to the upside. Now keep in mind, yes, this does sound complicated, but this move could theoretically happen in a matter of 2 weeks. It does not have to take like months. It could do something like this and it could just start pumping like crazy. Altcoins usually pump in an altcoin season, so you cannot expect this pump to take like 5 years. It's only going to take a couple of weeks to complete this first wave right here, and like I said, for this first wave we need these 5 waves right here. Now what's gonna happen after that? Well, we will need a second wave move down, and then a third wave move up, which will be the third wave of the main third wave. And if you did not watch my previous ICP videos, I have updated my predictions, and I believe that ICP can get somewhere between $87, which was my old prediction, and $150, which is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup, or a B structure. I don't know what it is, at least not right now. All I know is that we are currently trying to start a third wave or a C wave, and what happens after the third wave is still unclear to me, but you know, if we don't get a 4 and a 5, it's still going to be fine, because the third wave should still get to about $150. Now of course, if it is an A-B structure, then it does not have to go to that level. It could only get to like $87, and I don't think people will complain if we only got to $87. I think many people would be happy, well, as long as they did not buy right here. But you know, if you bought up here, then I mean, it's not my fault. I mean, the worst time to buy an altcoin is during the altcoin season, and you know, this was the end of the altcoin season, so yeah, it's not a good time to buy. The best time to buy is down here in the support region. As you can see, ICP reacted to the support region many times, so it's only a matter of time until we get some kind of pump. If we don't get it in the next couple of weeks, it's not going to matter. If you look at this from a monthly perspective, it still does look like it's gonna pump very soon. So who cares if we get a pump this month or next month? It's not going to matter in the long term. What matters is that ICP is holding support levels and that Bitcoin is going to new all-time highs. And what do you know? Each cycle, when Bitcoin goes to new all-time highs, yes, first Bitcoin gets huge pumps and the altcoins do not really follow it, but then all of a sudden, Bitcoin stops getting huge pumps, like it stopped over here. As you can see, it went from about, let's say, $3,000 to about $40,000. And what did the altcoins do during this time? Absolutely nothing. They did not even move that much compared to Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin went up like 10x, the altcoins barely went up during that time. And do you want to know when the altcoin season started last cycle? It was actually up here when Bitcoin was already at $40,000. So if we want an altcoin season, then in my opinion, Bitcoin has to keep going up. And like I said, it is very likely that Bitcoin hits about 255k in this cycle, and this cycle should end by September to October of 2025. So 255k is possible, and if it is possible for Bitcoin to go up another 2 to 3x from where it's at right now, then of course it's possible for ICP to go up like 10x, just because doubling the Bitcoin price would also mean that it would double its market cap, and if that happens, the altcoins are just going to go crazy. And like I said many times, this could be the biggest altcoin season yet, just because Bitcoin has a very big market cap, and there are some altcoins that only have like a $2 billion market cap. I believe ICP currently has a $4 billion market cap. So if Bitcoin gets to like a $5 trillion market cap, then of course ICP will be able to get to like a 150 billion market cap. And if that happens, then of course ICP will get to like $100 to $150. That's not even a question. But you need patience, and you know, if we continue going sideways, it's not going to be the end of the world. Like I said, Bitcoin dominance is still going up, and it's pretty much just going sideways right now. So I believe it will continue to go sideways until December, and we'll see what happens in December. If we start going down in December, then I think this marks the top for the Bitcoin dominance chart. However, if we start going up in December, I think it's very likely that we follow what we did in the previous cycle right here. As you can see, we continued to go up in December, and then all of a sudden, in January, we just had a huge correction on the Bitcoin dominance chart. And that's when the altcoin season started. So if we are doing that again, then it is very likely that Bitcoin dominance continues to go higher and higher. Now, of course, if Bitcoin continues to go higher as well, then ICP is very likely going to get a pump as well. And keep in mind, ICP is not affected by the Bitcoin dominance chart as much as the other altcoins because ICP is not a huge altcoin. It only has a market cap of around 4 billion. I mean, that's nothing compared to the other altcoins and especially compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is only important for Ethereum and the top 10 altcoins, not for ICP and the other small altcoins. Now, of course, it matters, but it's not going to matter in the long term. So yeah, that's what I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of these charts. And if you want to support the channel, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.